as we're about to do final runs for pole position. Apologies for that. What has happened here? Martin and Mash looks like they've gotten an incident and they've both gotten grid penalties. I've no idea what's going on, but anyway, this is the battle for pole in the final race. There's a massive train behind Piastri Goat, who's currently in P7, and Mahavir is P1. Piastri Goat up slightly through the first sector. And now heading down the main straight. Gets a little bit of a tow from the Haas there, does Piastri Goat. Not in the position he wants to be though, with that with a train of cars behind him. He'd prefer to be getting the slipstream, not as Martin has now been disqualified as well. So that's going to drop him right to the back, and Globdrip has retired. We might have to do a restart after this potentially. Anyway, let's focus on that in a second. Trent Newton is currently P2. Piastri Goat heading into the final sector. And there's cars going off everywhere on the track in front of him. But here we go now. He comes to the line. And what time is it going to be? It's going to be P3 for Piastri Goat. Mahavir's time is not good enough. Clammy Kid, Guga P6. And I believe that's it. That is it for qualifying. Mahavir on pole. Tret P2. It's a Mercedes 1-2 in qualifying, and they'll lock out the front row for the race. I'll just check if we need a restart for those grid penalties. Not sure what happened there. But yeah, there you go. So Mercedes 1 and 2, they're in the prime position to bring this championship home in both the drivers and constructors. Yeah, so what a qualifying session that was. So Mash with a 5-place grid penalty, that brings him down to 10th. And Martin all the way down to last. Yep, so just confirming there'll be no restart. Fuck, I'm in a car. We will restart. I knew this was going to happen.
Okay, you've got a drive-through penalty. You've been given a drive-through penalty. Okay, there's been an incident on track resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are so far no plans for a safety car. VSC deployed. The virtual safety car has been deployed.
Have I not been?
Slow down and maintain a positive
It's quite funny, actually. I hope everyone on the stream's enjoying this insane gameplay. How have I... How am I still
Okay,
alive?
you've got front wing damage. This will have a major impact on performance unless you box for a new one.
Oh shit, he's in AI, isn't he? Ah. Ah, that's alright. It does end. Alright. We'll just be back in a moment as we set the grid, and I'll just pause for a moment and we'll be right back. More technical issues once again. Alright, we should be nearly ready to go. Apologies for the delay again. Yep, we are ready to go. I mean, I'll say I hope that F125 will have less of these problems, but we all know the answer to that, which is that these issues are never going to go away, sadly. But we will move on. We've now got 29 laps to decide the ORL Season 7 Championship. This is what we've all come to see, and we'll finally get to see it decided. It's Piastri Goat versus Mahavir. It's Aston versus Mercedes. I'll keep you updated on the status of the championship as the race progresses. But with the Mercedes locking out the front row, the odds are heavily in their favour to take home a good result this evening. Just remember setups, everyone. Oh, and we're off for the final race of Season 7. We are underway in Abu Dhabi, and it's a good start for Mahavir. He's got his teammate up on his inside, but he yields that to him for now. And all good through turn 1. There's someone running wide there. I think it was Guga. He's dropped down to P6, and still running wide is the Aston Martin. And under pressure now from Keithy, who's flown through off the start. They're almost 3 wide into turn 5, but they get away with it for now. The two Mercedes drivers getting quite close. Trent chasing after his teammate with Piastri Goat in close pursuit as well. Which way is he going to go? Going to go to the outside. Trent defends as well. We could almost be 3 wide here. And Piastri Goat's going to go for the lead here around the outside of Mahavir. He gets past Trent. Doesn't quite get past Mahavir though. And Trent still has a good run on the outside though. And all of a sudden, Clammy Kid now involved in this as well. Some big team defending from the Mercedes drivers here. Is Piastri Goat going to go for a move? Is Trent going to go for a move on his teammate? He almost is, and Piastri Goat trying to hang it out around the outside. Mercedes hold on to their advantage for now, but it's getting very tight here on lap 1. And Clammy Kid around the outside of Piastri Goat wants to sneak onto the podium himself, and they have a bit of wheel bump here. Clammy Kid is absolutely flying here, and he's going to get through on Piastri Goat. What a move that was by the Haas driver. Piastri Goat tumbling down the positions, down to P6, now being attacked by Keithy, and he's into P7, so this is the worst possible start Piastri Goat could have asked for, and Guga down in 11th as well. Not a great start by any stretch, and Mahavir and Trent just going to try and go off into the distance here. Clammy Kid looks like he's got some good pace off the start as well, and he's going to try and hang on to the back, but it's almost a second the difference already. And Trent now is going to be racing his teammate for the lead of the race here. He will get the DRS advantage as well. Which way is he going to go? He's going to go to the inside, and he's going to glide past Mahavir into the lead as we take a look at the tyre situation. Everyone on the mediums except for Globdrip. A little bit further down the midfield, there's some moves happening as Piastri Goat and Keithy exchanging places once again. Piastri Goat is going to have to work hard to get his way back up the field after a poor start. Has seen him drop 4 places in the opening lap. And unfortunately the DRS effect just too strong there. And Keithy stays ahead. It's a Haas 3 and 4 at the moment as well. Good start from them. And Aiden P5 doing pretty decently also. So still a bit of a train here as Clammy Kid has caught back up to the 2 Mercedes drivers. And we'll see how this DRS train develops as the race goes on. As here we go to start lap 3. Trent Newton leading the way. He wants to get himself a win this season. Still yet to have one. He's had a few good performances, a couple podiums, but hasn't been able to get onto the top step yet. And with Piastri Gate out of the picture, he can start to think about winning the race. He doesn't need to follow team orders. And Keithy getting very close to Aiden here, but a good exit from Aiden makes it very difficult to overtake. Piastri Gate looking to the inside though of Keithy. Is he going to go for a move here on the Ferrari? He tried this last lap. It didn't work. Will it work this time? He's to the inside. Keithy pushed a little bit wider, but just hard racing there from Piastri Gate. That should be fine for him. He moves up into P6, and now he's got Aiden next in his crosshairs. Still a lot of work to go. Mahavir getting very close to Trent on the inside. Clammy Kid right there as well. He does not care about the championship battle. He just wants to get a win for himself here. And look how he's flying along. He has got some speed, and he wants to let everyone know about it. In that Haas car. Clammy Kid looking good off the start. Yep, already on to lap 4 of this race. 2 Mercedes drivers. The race has gone absolutely perfectly for them so far. Piastri Goat. All eyes are going to be on his charge back up the order. Does he have enough pace in that Aston Martin to take on the leaders? He's getting quite a bit closer to Aiden here. So showing he's got some good speed. And a big slide from Aiden there. Could that hurt him down the straight? He recovers it quite nicely actually. As look at the DRS train all the way out. All the top 10 are currently within a second of one another. Is Mahavir going to go for a move and try and take back the lead off his teammate Trent? He gets very close. Doesn't want to get too close to impact his run out of the corner, but he's done that very nicely. And now he looks poised to make this move. And Trent is not going to fight that one too hard. They're going to continue to exchange places for the foreseeable future. Oscar Piastri Goat gets up into 5th place. As Guga all the way down to last now. I'm not sure what happened to him, but down the back of the pack with H. Mewburn. A big snap for Globdrip, who's lost quite a few places. He's now fallen to dead last. Yes, I'm not sure what's happened to Guga at the start of this race, but really seems to be struggling. Let's have a look back up the front, though. These front 3 clearly the best of the bunch so far, but Piastri Goat, he's lucky this DRS train is still going and the Mercedes haven't broken away because they are still in his sights now. Just wonder if Trent is going to have to play a bit of a hold-up game for Mahavir, his teammate. If there's going to be any sort of team orders there, or if Trent is just running his own race. They've also got to think about the constructors as well. But with Guga in 14th, that seems to be a bit of a non-issue right now for Mercedes. It looks like they might have that one wrapped up. But the 2 Haas drivers could still win. Haas could still win the Constructors' Championship, so they've got to be worried about them as well in P3 and P4. They are not going to be easy to get past at all. Clammy Kid had a good run there, but not a great exit out of that corner, which might have cost him a bit of time. Is he going to go for this move on Trent? I tell you what, he's pushing hard. Trent defends to the inside, and this could get a bit hairy for them. Trent making a move on his teammate there, wheel to wheel. And Mahavir lets him go, but Clammy Kid now alongside. And Mahavir's running out of room here. And Clammy Kid's going to try and make an opportunistic move. He went off the track there and picked up a 3-second. Oh, it's a big snap for Trent. He saved it just, but he's dropped down all the way to 6th. And that was a very, very close moment there. But crucially, Trent has fallen behind Piastri Goat and now can't impact that battle as much. He's got some work to do to catch back up. But now Mahavir is vulnerable to the threat of Clammy Kid and Grateful Dog behind. So could that be a game-changing moment in this race? Could Piastri Goat's luck just have turned around for him a little bit? Mahavir's really going to have to step on the gas here and try and break the DRS, because that is going to be the big decider here in this race. But look at those 2 Haas drivers. They are hunting down the Mercedes in the lead of this race. And Clammy Kid now, he's got a penalty, but he does have the DRS as well. And all of a sudden, this race is coming alive. Which way is he going to go? He's going to go to the inside, and he makes the move. And Oscar Piastri Goat right there as well. Mahavir breaks late and defends. Piastri Goat up into P3. A great exit for Clammy Kid. He's going to take the lead of this race, I think. No DRS for Mahavir. That leaves him vulnerable to his championship rival Piastri Goat, who's going to come around the inside or the outside. He didn't decide in the end, and he stayed behind the Mercedes. But it's the championship leader in P2 with his rival in P3, and they're reunited once again in this race. Trent down in 7th place, chasing after Mash, and not getting through at the moment. And Piastri Goat got close to Mahavir, and he's still extremely close as we head through the hotel section there. And what a little moment it has been in this race so far. Unfortunately, Guga not there to support his teammate, and he's going to need a bit of luck to get back in this one. But the Drivers' Championship is what we're focusing on at the moment. And you can see a bit of nerves starting to come through with Clammy Kid's penalty. These two are net P1 and P2 in the race. A Grateful Dog also there. He's looking racy, so you can't count him out just yet. But Clammy Kid has looked incredible off this race start. I believe he started in P4 and he's already flown up to the front. So what's going to happen down this straight? This could get a bit spicy. Mahavir has the DRS this time, and Clammy Kid is in his crosshairs. Is he going to make the move here, or is he going to wait for the next straight? He pulls out to the inside. Doesn't attack him too aggressively, just wants to force him off the line a little bit as Piastri Goat gets very close to the rear of the Mercedes. And we can see absolutely flying along. And he's going to go to the inside. We could be 3 wide here. We're going to be extremely close. Piastri Goat to the inside, and he makes the move on Clammy Kid. Mahavir gets through, and there's contact between Clammy Kid and Piastri Goat, and Clammy Kid's had a huge moment, and that has taken him out. But Piastri Goat and Mahavir almost wheel to wheel there through that corner, and Mahavir hangs on to the position only just. But Clammy Kid now down to P9. That's a second of the drivers that's had a mistake in Sector 3 that has cost them big time. Actually, make that 3, because Piastri Goat did it on lap 1, and Trent did it on just last lap. So they've dropped down massively, and Clammy Kid with that penalty, that's really going to hurt him. But now it's just a straight fight between the two championship leaders, Piastri Goat and Mahavir. This is what we've all come to see. This is well worth the price of admission this afternoon. Piastri Goat versus Mahavir down the main straight on lap 8 out of 29. Grateful Dog still hanging around there as well. Aiden, Mash, Trent, Martin are all in pursuit in the DRS train. Piastri Goat. We've seen the tactics down this straight. Not many drivers have opted for the overtake into the chicane because they know they could just get taken back down the straight. A huge snap from Mahavir, and Piastri Goat's eyes widen, and the opportunity is made quite comfortably as a result of the exit there from Mahavir, which cost him a bit of time. And Piastri Goat, after falling to 7th on lap 1, has completed the resurgence, and now he's in the lead of the race and in the lead of the championship. Mahavir is definitely going to have something to say about that, though. There's still plenty of time left, 20 laps in this race, and now it's time to rethink the strategy. His teammate Trent can't help him. Piastri Goat's teammate Guga can't help him down in P14. So it's just a straight fight, but as I say, Mercedes in the lead of the Constructors' Championship by still a few points at this stage. And Haas were looking really strong there until Clammy Kid had that moment as well. They could have really been a threat to the Constructors' Championship as well, but Grateful Dog carrying their hopes on his shoulders for now. And we'll see what happens down this straight. Is Mahavir close enough? He's got Grateful Dog pretty close behind him though, so that's something he's going to have to keep his eyes peeled for. And a big gap has formed after Clammy Kid in 9th, so Globdrip 6 seconds back from him, and then the rest of the field below. SV not having a great race down in P12 there. And now once again, DRS open. Is Mahavir going to go for it? He's pretty far back. I don't think he's going to have an opportunity here, but Trent is getting close to Mash in the McLaren, and he dives down the inside. It was a desperate lunge from Trent. A little bit of contact as well. Luckily, no damage or spins for any of the drivers involved, and they can continue racing as per normal. But Trent is clearly getting a bit frustrated, bogged down in this midfield. Martin also doing very well in P7 after starting last. And Aiden is coming into the pits here, so an early stop. The first driver to blink. He was in P4, Aiden, so is he going to try and undercut on the leaders here, possibly? We'll see how he goes with the pit stop and where he comes out. He will have a nice gap to filter out into, so it's going to have to be a good outlap for Aiden. But we go to the front. So our driver's going to respond to that. I think Grateful Dog might have to. We'll see if Piastri Goat and Mahavir are worried about that at all. Mahavir a lot closer this time. And he should be able to glide through here on Piastri Goat. That might have been a tactical leave from him so that he can try the repass. Bit of mind games going on here. And Piastri Goat has the DRS now. He's going to go back down the outside. And this is tight. He gets through, no dramas. Good racing between the two of them. And this is exactly what we were hoping for in this championship battle. The two championship leaders out front, battling it for the victory. Is there going to be any pit stops? Not from the front three, but Trent does come in, as does Mash and Martin. So it seems like it might be about that time to come into the pits. The tyres starting to wear off just a little bit. Clammy Kid also comes in. No front wing, which is a good sign. And we'll see where Aiden comes out relative to these drivers. It's a long pit lane. And Aiden has undercut them, or he was already in front. But he's extended that gap on Mash. It's only just coming out now. It should be a couple seconds now. And yeah, 2.7 seconds. That could be big in the context of this race. But we'll have a look back up the front again here, because anything can happen between these two, the championship rivals, with Grateful Dog hanging on in there. This is a very good race for Grateful Dog. If he can hang on to the DRS of these two, should be able to give him a bit of an advantage. But you'd suspect all three of them will be coming into the pits this lap. Mahavir in the lead now. And yep, here we go. They're all in. So let's see where they come out relative to Aiden, as Grateful Dog picks up a 3-second penalty, but he will be able to get that removed, because that was while entering the pits, because that is a glitch on this track. If he doesn't get any more warnings for the rest of the race, that is. And everyone all good on the pit stops. Glob Troop provisionally takes the lead of the race. Aiden now coming down the main straight with Guga in front. Guga going to try and do a bit of a hold-up job for his teammate here, possibly. So where does Piastri Goat come out and Mahavir? They come out now. And they're going to come out just ahead of the Alpine of Mewburn. And Aiden is there. So Guga now. Guga's inserted himself into this position. He's ahead of Mahavir. Is he going to try and play a bit of mind games here with Piastri Goat flying through? Guga will certainly let Piastri Goat through. And there's a bit of contact there between Mahavir and Piastri Goat. Doesn't look like there's any damage though, thankfully. But Guga will let Piastri Goat go through, but he's going to do a bit of a Sergio Perez here in the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Very similar, but Mahavir is going to be able to get through there on Guga, who's still trying though. The gap is now 9.5 tenths. And Mash gets through, Guga gets tapped and into the wall. And he reset to track. That's definitely a penalty. And Guga attempted to help his teammate out there unsuccessfully. So Mahavir still hangs on to the DRS. Piastri Goat has Aiden to try and get past here. So Guga in the pits, I wonder if he needs a front wing change as well. Sage Mewburn retires in the pits from this race, unfortunately for him. And now Piastri Goat is opened up a gap to Mahavir, actually, 1.3 seconds. As now he's vulnerable to Mash. Mash down the inside of Mahavir. Makes the move, and the McLaren up into P4 as Piastri Goat goes into P2. But Mahavir is going to come back at the McLaren, and this is hurting him big time. But in the meantime, Aiden getting back past Piastri Goat into P2. So not all doom and gloom for Mahavir just yet. But he's going to want to try and catch up to those two quite quickly. Because losing DRS to Piastri Goat would be the worst thing for him right now. In the meantime, they're catching up to Globdrip, who hasn't pitted yet. So they'll be hoping to pass him pretty quickly without too much issue. So Mahavir now 1.1 behind. He's gained about 5/10 in a sector. So Aiden really holding up Piastri Goat here. And this is going to be a very crucial couple of laps to define the rest of this race, because the final pit stops have been made, assuming there's no safety car. And Mahavir pushing like mad to try and hang on to the back of Piastri Goat, and he's done that successfully. And now Piastri Goat will overtake Aiden, and he's going to have to try and defend that position again here, as Mahavir tries to defend from Mash. Mash going to go to the inside again. He's just going to try and force him off his line. Mahavir still takes it pretty well, actually, and he's going to be putting some pressure on Aiden. I think Piastri Goat has enough room to hang on to P2 for now. And Mash still trying to make that move on Mahavir, can't quite do it. And yet Piastri Goat does hold that position, so now he's going to try and leave Aiden in the dust. He's going to have to work pretty hard though. Aiden has shown some pretty good pace so far this race. And in the meantime, Trent gets past Grateful Dog and back up into P6. Only 2 spots behind his teammate. So we are now over the halfway mark in this race, as Trent sets the fastest lap, so he's setting down some good times on those hard tyres. And Aiden has dropped a second to Piastri Goat, so Mahavir now needs to get past as a matter of urgency. Piastri Goat's going to get the DRS from Globdrip here, and he's going to want to try and pass him straight away so as to not get held up. But here we go, Mahavir with the DRS. How's he going to play this? He's going to go for the move straight away, and he's going to try and open up a big enough gap on Aiden so he doesn't get the repass, as Piastri Goat now takes the lead of the race for the first time tonight. Globdrip is going to help Mahavir out, is he? Oh no, he doesn't get. He does get DRS from him. So that is very handy for Mahavir to defend the position from Aiden. But the problem is for him now is that Globdrip is going to be in his way. He's going to hope that the Sauber moves out of the way as quickly as possible. How's Mahavir going to play this? Piastri Goat once again opens up a second gap. And he's just hanging on by the skin of his teeth. Mahavir's going to go down the inside. And Globdrip didn't let him go easily. And there's a bit of contact there. Mahavir goes off the track. Globdrip also makes contact with Aiden there. And he is not being very polite here, is Globdrip, that's for sure. But he is helping Mahavir. He's giving him a gap. So now Aiden has to try and get through. Mahavir, we're 1.8 behind Piastri Goat. And this Globdrip defense is really hurting Aiden and Trent and Mash here, who are going to fall off from the leaders. Aiden not able to get through. Globdrip sends it down the inside. And as a result, oh, that is absolute carnage. And Martin's picked up a 10-second for corner cutting. And I reckon Aiden's got damage. That was a bit ridiculous by Globdrip there. And a few drivers have been impacted, I believe, as Trent gets past Aiden there. No front wing damage from what I can see, and what the data's telling me. But in the meantime, Trent moves into the podium places, but Aiden closely following. We'll see if anyone has to pit for damage. It doesn't look like it, which is good. So the race hasn't been ruined too much by that effort by Globdrip, as he now comes into the pits to strap on some medium tyres for the end of the race. The two Haas drivers have joined up to the back of this pack, both with penalties though. Martin's picked up a 10-second, which he might be able to get removed, or might not. He did make a couple of legal overtakes, I believe. But here we go, Aiden now chasing after Trent. And he's going to get that move done quite easily. Martin is in on the scene as well. Trent brakes very, very late. And all of a sudden he's got some problems with Mash behind him. And Martin is going to make a move here on Aiden potentially, and Mash is going to have a look at Trent as well. It's a four-car battle. Trent down the inside of Aiden. Aiden going to try and hang it out. But Trent has the superior grip there on the inside line. Now Mash is going to attack Aiden, who's still trying to get past Trent, and this is getting very, very tight. And I'm shocked that everyone's still facing the right way after that. And we've somehow had no DNFs on track yet, after there's been quite a few incidents. Keithy's picked up a 3-second. He's down in 9th. It just hasn't been his race today at all for Keithy, unfortunately. But 11 laps remain. Trent is really going to try and fight through and see if he can help his teammate out at all. But unfortunately, this battle is just not helping him one bit. Piastri Goat is 2.5 clear ahead of Mahavir and holding. So he's got some good pace at the moment. Mahavir is going to have to find a different level here if he wants to pull this championship back into his grasp. In the meantime, this battle is really interesting. Aiden has a look down the outside of Trent. Nothing doing there. Good exit from Trent there. Absolutely fantastic exit. Now he's going to try and take on Martin. On that occasion, Martin has some good speed here. Unfortunately, that penalty is going to hinder him quite a bit. In the meantime, Piastri Goat all alone out front. Still hanging on to the lead and continuing to increase his gap. It's out to 3 seconds now. Mahavir has had the pace all season, but it looks like Piastri Goat has the pace on this track. Still ages to go though. You know what pressure can do to some drivers. Mahavir just needs to stick around and anything can happen here. Still so long left. 10 laps. As I say, with Mercedes and in second and fourth, they currently have the Constructors' Championship quite comfortably. It'll be a 15-point lead at the moment for Mercedes over Aston Martin. If the positions stay the same as they are, make it 18 as Trent moves into P3. Aiden going down the inside of Martin. Trent runs a bit deep. He's running deep into that corner a few times now. Aiden's going to have the DRS as away we go once again to this battle that has been absolutely thrilling so far. And Trent just going to stay ahead there. Mash in 6th. Only 5 drivers in this race haven't received a penalty. That's the top 4 and 6th place in Mash. I'll have a look at the penalty situation now, actually. Yeah, Martin has 13. The rest of the drivers have either 3 or multiples of 3-second penalties. Almost everyone on the hard tyres, I believe, except for Globdrip. And now just 9 laps to go in this ORL season. What a thriller it has been. And there's a yellow flag. It's SV who spun around and lost his wing, and that's a virtual safety car. And SV is going to have to come into the pits, so we'll see if anyone takes advantage of this opportunity to come in. Yeah, a full safety car would have been enormous in this race. And Globtrip gets a 10-second penalty, so he might have run into the back of SV there, coming into the pits, I believe, because I think SV just dropped that on his own. Guga taking advantage of this opportunity to make a pit stop. So VSC. See Lindsay in the chat watching along. And this safety car hopefully shouldn't last for too long. We'll get underway once again. But at the moment, as I say, Mahavir will lose the championship lead to Piastri Goat if results stay as they are right now. Basically, whoever finishes ahead is going to win this championship as we are underway. VSC has ended, and who's that going off the track there? It's Aiden out of the final corner there, and Trent has pulled a good gap from that. So Aiden's going to have to work hard to catch back up to him. Yeah, this big battle all the way from 3rd down to 8th position. And that's a big snap for, I believe it, yeah, it was Grateful Dog there down in 8th. And here we go, Martin now going down the inside of Aiden. Into P4, yep, gets the job done. And now very close to Trent. He's going to try and make a move here on the Mercedes. Which way is he going to go? He goes to the outside. Trent going to defend it, is he? No, lets him go for now. And Martin back into P3 provisionally. After penalties, though, he will lose most of these places. Trent very close. Had a great run there out of that corner. So the laps continue to count down here. Lap 22, we begin out of 29. Piastri Goat still holding that gap, 3.4 to Mahavir. And Trent now absolutely hounding the back of Martin. He wants that podium place back. SV picks up another 3 seconds. And, oh, a big move there from Grateful Dog, gets past 2 cars. Not sure what happened there. Must have been a bit of a moment. In the meantime, Aiden goes down the inside of Martin here. Gets into P4. Job done for the V-Carb. Trent, another great run out of that corner. He's very good out of that corner and onto the Dowra straight. And he has been all day long, so that's helped him hold that position. In the meantime, Grateful Dog looking for another move there on Martin. Couldn't quite do it. Mash in 7th place on his first race in the league. It's been a respectable performance from him so far. And now another lap down. Piastri Goat will be counting down those laps. Mahavir still desperate to stay in it, but at the moment his hopes are slowly beginning to slip here. It's Piastri Goat, who lost the championship lead in the last race, is looking to gain it back here in Abu Dhabi in the finale. And his lead now increases to 4 seconds on lap 23. And now Martin and Aiden wheel to wheel here. Martin down the inside. Gets it done again. Grateful Dog very close. And Trent has been able to pull a bit of a gap here. 8/10 the difference. Will Aiden try and go for the move here? And Grateful Dog really close here. It's a 3-car battle. And Aiden just hangs on, but he's run a bit wide. He's opened the door for Grateful Dog, who's now on the outside. Aiden has to brake late. And a bit of a snap for Grateful Dog. SV is retired from the race. And that's another virtual safety car. Safety car just doesn't want to come out tonight. The gods are on Piastri Goat's side clearly. With 5 laps to go on this one. And we'll have another virtual. Will anyone come into the pits? It looks like the Ferrari of Keith is taking advantage of that. Should be able to hold his position. I think that's Gearcom United in the pits as well. So Piastri Goat still hanging on to that lead. And there's not long left now in this race. As Globtrip receives a drive-through. His race goes from bad to worse. As in the meantime, Aiden makes an opportunistic move on Grateful Dog to get into P5, but Grateful Dog fighting it back now. Trying to go around the outside. This is similar to what we saw last lap. Aiden hangs onto the position. Losing time to Martin and Trent though. Almost a second the difference. You see Piastri Goat 4.5 seconds ahead of Mahavir. And 4 laps to go in the championship and the ORL season. He's 4.5 seconds ahead. And what a performance he's put in. After falling down to 7th on the first lap, he has done spectacularly to pull himself back into that position. His claiming he picks up another 3 seconds. And Mash has got himself back up into 5th as well, but they've dropped off from Trent and Martin, who are fighting for the final podium place, but it should be Trent after penalties, who's doing it pretty comfortably at this stage. Martin trying to hang it out around the outside, a little bit of contact. Martin gets forced off the circuit there. And Trent hangs on to P3. So Mercedes will win the Constructors' Championship by a good margin. It was a great comeback from them to get into this position. The move from mid-season from Mahavir from Williams to Mercedes was the game changer. And Mercedes, I believe that is back-to-back Constructors' Champion, or overall Constructors' Championships at least. So they will be pretty happy with that result. But at the moment, it's looking like Piastri Goat. 5 seconds, the gap still. He's continuing to gain on Mahavir. He's done a sterling job. Incredible pace on this track. And Martin, once again, this enthralling battle between 3rd all the way down to 8th. Martin going to try around the outside. Trent doesn't want that to happen. Martin trying to keep it in there. There's contact again. Yeah, it's getting a bit tense here as Mash trying to have a look around the outside. Just wants to stay away from that for a little bit. Doesn't want to become collateral damage to a potential incident between these two. And oh, Martin has a spin there. And that looked inevitable from a couple laps, from the last couple of laps of battling. It became continually more aggressive between the two of them. Unfortunately, Martin is fallen down the order as a result. It's now lap 27 of 29 here. Trent trying to hang on for that podium, but Mash could get a result here for the McLaren team. Four tenths back, DRS open now. And just hold station for the moment. He's going to set up an attack here out of the chicane. And Mash should be able to reel in Trent here, you'd think. And he does. He's up into P3. The highest Mash has been all race long. It's been a very consistent drive by him. And he would dearly love a podium on debut in ORL. And it looks like that's what he's going to get. As we now are about to enter the penultimate lap of this race. Piastri Goat has increased his gap to 7 seconds on Mahavir. And barring some late miracles, it looks like Piastri Goat will get this job done. But the podium's still yet to be decided, as Clammy Kid ran off the track there, but no penalty. Globtrip currently holds the fastest lap of the race, so no one getting that fastest lap point for now. As here we go, Trent trying to take that P3 back. He's going to go for a move into the chicane here. And there he goes, but Mash fights it back. And a little bit of contact, and that's set Mash off the track with a 3 seconds. Should be able to get that removed though, because that was forced off just a little bit there by Trent. And very close battling here as Mash goes around the outside. Trent holding the inside. Aiden interested as well. He's battling with Clammy Kid. And now wheel to wheel is Trent and Mash. Mash down the inside. More contact. This is where Martin went round last lap. Thankfully, Mash gets through without any incident. Now we're on the final lap of this race. And the final lap of the season. And the final lap of F1 24 for ORL. And it's Piastri Goat, who's got the whole track in front of him. His teammate just behind him is lapped, as Aiden picks up a 3 second as well. And Piastri Goat for him, he's got an 8 second lead. He's dancing down the straight. What a season it's been for Piastri Goat. He missed the first couple races of the season, and then he went on a hot streak. He won 3 races in a row, catapulted himself to the lead of the championship, which he held for most of the season before Mahavir came flying back into the contest and eventually ended up taking the lead of the championship before the final round. But with the pressure mounting on him throughout this race and throughout the season, Piastri Goat held firm. He showed his pace, and he's been able to come through the field, charge through the field, in fact, and he's been able to secure the victory. As Piastri Goat rounds the couple corners, Mahavir is unfortunately going to come second, but Piastri Goat is going to get his 5th win of the season, and he's going to secure the championship for Season 7. It's Piastri Goat who gets the job done and is your ORL Season 7 Tier 1 champion for his first time in his career. Oscar Piastri Goat gets the job done for Aston Martin and secures the championship. There will be celebrations for him. Also celebrations at Mercedes, who finish off the podium in 2nd and 3rd place. They secure the Constructors' Championship after coming from behind. An awesome result for Mahavir and Trent and their team principal, Lindsay. They get the Constructors' Championship, the coveted title. Mercedes win for the second season in a row. And Mercedes proving once again to be a force in this league. But in the end of the day, Piastri Goat gets the win and secures the championship by 8 seconds. One of the great drives in a championship decider we have seen, and an awesome result. He will be enjoying that one tonight for sure. And for the rest of the results, Grateful Dog at P4, a gallant fight from him. He was up there all race long. Mash in his first race finishes P5. Aiden P6, and then Clammy Kid, who just didn't have luck on his side in this race, but he was looking really good all race long and finishes P7. Keithy just wasn't able to find his feet in the race, unfortunately. He's P8. Martin is in P9 after quite a few penalties. And Com United rounds out the points positions in 10th. So congratulations to Piastri Goat. Gets the job done. And he's had his victory lap. And we're still waiting for Glob Trip to finish. Hopefully he can come to the line anytime now. But yeah, what a race. Mahavir, unfortunately, just was... The traffic got in the way. There was a few factors there that led to Piastri Goat breaking that DRS gap. And once he was able to break that DRS gap, he just disappeared off into the distance, never to be caught again. So a pretty awesome result for him. That is his first championship. And he's dethroned Mahavir, the reigning champ. We now have a new champion of ORL. And we'll see, there might be a couple of penalties overturned as well there, because there were quite a few that might not have exactly been earned there. With those 3 seconds in that big battle like Mash, he might be able to get his 3 second removed as well. And maybe move up a couple places. But that is all she wrote for this season. I hope you've all enjoyed it. It's been an absolute blast. A shortened season, only one tier, but they definitely made up for it with quality of racing and excitement. And there he is, Piastri Goat, holds up the trophy on the podium. He's got the job done, secured the championship. As we look at the results now, Piastri Goat first, takes the championship. Mahavir second, commiserations. Had a great season to fight back into it, but does walk away with a Constructors' Championship victory, which I'm sure he'll be very proud of. And of course, driver of the day will go to Piastri Goat. P3, down to P7 on lap 1, and he's charged through the field and gotten the win. So that's it for ORL Season 7. Hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you in the not too distant future for our first season on F1 25. So stay tuned for that, and we'll be back. Don't worry about it. See you later.